from the tropical shores of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. This is Drinks with Mark and Rich. On today's show, the guys covered 3 ways with Martha Stewart, eyeball licking, and sexting. And now, here they are, naked and afraid, Mark and Rich.
I can hear you breathe lying next to me.
All right, we're here. Oh, let's go.
Okay. I don't know when we start.
Craig, I know. We need to work on that.
I don't pay attention.
I will have you know, in the last week and a half, I downloaded, one great big Michael McDonald package. Like a whole bunch of Doobie Brothers songs and a whole bunch of his songs. Doing my homework.
Are you learning to play them?
No, I haven't yet. I've just been enjoying them. Just playing them in the car and buzzing around. Did you have a good 4th of July?
I did. Actually, I went to a wedding.
Cool.
A friend of mine got married. It was kind of a sort of like a white trash theme.
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose.
Cool.
I actually have pictures from it. I imagine you can just edit in.
Yeah.
I went and bought a vest. I was wearing red, white, and blue. Plus, I was trying. I don't know. We've talked about it before. Where as I approach 40, I'm going to transition into that, sort of that Albuquerque Santa Fe look. The ponytail, just dripping with turquoise.
Just tons of turquoise.
Yeah, man. Just I'm gonna be this year. I mean, this will be my 39th birthday in November.
Goodness.
And I will spend pretty much the next year transforming myself. I'm not that far off. I wear
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, I wear pearl snap shirts and cowboy boots a lot, so it's really not that far. It's just a couple other things.
Can you pull off a vest with no shirt yet?
Not yet. That's a little too. That's like David Allen Coe. That's like when I'm like 60.
Okay.
I'll just quit wearing shirts. I'll just roll. I'll push some girl off me and roll out of bed, and it'll just be appropriate. I'll just get my vest on.
Put on my vest.
Yeah, I'll just be smelly, and I'll have like a pseudo Native American jewelry, like bones and
Big
stuff.
messy.
Yeah, just dumb.
Like that. In the Warriors, the dude with the big fro.
Yeah,
they had vests.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a real David Allen Coe. But for now, I'm going to go classy, more like Waylon Jennings.
Okay.
Sterling silver.
Nice.
Bracelet. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go for.
Cool.
That's how I make getting older tolerable. I gotta make a goal.
I'll be 40 at the end of this summer.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm already telling kids to get off my lawn.
We already got the bitching about kids, and I don't understand why kids wear jeans.
We're turning into those 2 old Muppets.
What were the kids doing when you told them to get off lawn?
I don't even know. Probably bringing my paper up to the to the porch or something.
They're probably doing
nice.
Kids are like really into environmental stuff, so they're probably like doing soil samples.
I'm picking up cigarette butts or something.
Yeah. But you didn't have anything to do. You're like, get out of my lawn. They're like,
turn the hose on you, kid.
They had chemistry sets, and they were checking the acidity. Sir, we just want some science project.
Picking up trash.
You damn kids.
Damn you kids.
You ruined my lawn last year with your spray cans.
So
your fancy Jordans.
So your wedding was fun?
It was good. It was good. I actually had an opportunity to install a flagpole. I put a little brace on the side of the truck. I was flying Old Glory.
Oh, badass.
Yeah.
Cool.
How often do you get to do that?
Should do it every day.
You should.
Cool.
When you talk about America's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I bought, I don't know if you can see this. This is my first piece of turquoise jewelry. It's
beautiful.
Semi. Yeah.
Turquoise semi.
Yep. So
that's cool.
Yeah, well.
Where'd you get that?
When you're 100 air, I am
1,000 air.
Yeah, I wish. I'm hoping to become. Maybe in 10 years I'll be 1,000 air. I'm a pretty good 100 air though. I got that from the bleep bleep bloop bloop bloop. I got it from what's that place called? Come on.
Love's Truck Stop?
Yep, that's what it is. Nope. Very good. I was trying to buy a CB radio. Cheap Thrills, right there on Peoria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good place. So,
Nice work.
if you're in a pinch, they'll get you. Lions Indian store was closed that day. So I wasn't able to get the turquoise I needed. They were closed on the 4th of July. You would think that'd be like a day they'd be intentionally open.
Like the Chinese restaurant on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
You know,
We're not celebrating the 4th of July. That's the day you took everything from, I don't know.
I used to steal my mom's, not steal, but I'd wear my mom's turquoise jewelry and stuff. I was a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
always had just massive,
Oh, shit, yeah.
crazy looking stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was always wearing her shit to high school and stuff, just looking like
That's awesome.
just a nut.
Did you have like purple velvet boots too? And
No, I couldn't pull that off. I was broke. If I could swipe it for my mom, I could wear it.
Was it weird for you that Stevie Ray Vaughan had the exact same taste in footwear as the artist formerly known as Prince?
Exactly. I've seen that all the time. I don't care.
A lot of scarves.
Yeah.
He had a scarf thing like
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp or Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he had a bootlet thing like Prince.
I have compared him to Prince before a
Right.
lot. I don't care. They're both awesome. I like Prince too.
Okay. I like there's that was a high school thing, and you look back at that and you're like, man, I was just stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was dressing like Stevie Ray Vaughan, and now like that's gonna be cool again. That's coming to a point where that's gonna be cool again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was dumb. Then 20 years pass, you're like, I think I'm gonna pick that back up.
Oh, where is that big?
Mom,
Where's
you know
that?
that turquoise jewelry?
That turquoise peacock that I used to wear.
Those purple velvet bootlets.
Our 4th of July was pretty fun. We just hung around the house. The neighborhood goes nuts. Lots of.
That's what you're talking about.
We're out in the country, or not out in the country, but we're not in the city. So, man, just like drillers type fireworks going off all over the
really?
place, just huge. We spent about, I don't know, $60 or something, and put on a little show ourselves, and just drank beer and stayed out with the neighbors. Pretty fun.
Now, would you say that's because the level of fireworks that go out, like amateur style out here, is because the people that live out here are probably country people themselves?
Probably,
and
so.
they've moved out of the country, so they've moved into a better. So that they have that thing where they're going to make their own fireworks, and they're very used to having.
Yeah, in the front yard anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Although they probably work like IT jobs and. They're still very familiar with gunpowder and
definitely. I think I would draw
Okay.
that conclusion out here.
what do we got on the list over there?
What do we got over here? Rolling Stone had their worst bands list, or 10. I was looking for it. I think it was the 10 worst bands of the 90s. It wasn't
okay.
all time. A lot of them I kind of
Was Collective Soul on there?
I didn't see Collective Soul. I saw Creed,
Girl.
which is the same thing.
Yeah.
Creed and Hootie and the Blowfish and Nirvana.
The most bland band ever.
And
Just white bread, lack of soul.
Which one?
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah. And who else? Nirvana was on there.
Oh.
And
Get a little interference here.
who else did I see?
Somebody's trying to make a call.
I guess so.
Let me take this.
Hello?
No, I don't want to change my phone service. That's crazy.
No, I don't want a house alarm installed tonight.
That guy, that's what they call the hard sell. Okay, if you want a story that'll make you feel okay about it. Okay, so the same week, it's no coincidence, I'm sure, looking back at it now, but the same week that the tornadoes hit Moore and where the hell else they hit, these guys started canvassing my neighborhood over 15th and Harvard, that area, the other side of Florence, the bad side of Florence Park, the neighborhood that's closer to the fairgrounds. And they were selling magazines, which you should right away. That's just bad. And they accepted cash, and I gave them cash.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I was, like every day there was something about, disaster relief. And as Oklahomans, we got to pull ourselves together. We got to do this, let's help our neighbors. And I was in that spirit, but I'm not the type of person I don't want to go down there and
clean up. Yeah.
Not because I don't want to clean up, not because I'm afraid of hard work, but more because I'm the dude that's going to pick something up without a glove and get tetanus.
Yeah, I'm going to get a nail in your foot. Yeah.
Or I'm going to try and pick up something in a shitload of fucking shingles or something.
Somebody will get hurt and we'll end up getting sued.
It's going to be me.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'm going to do something that's going to get me sued. Like, well, he wasn't here representing any, official agency. He's just a volunteer. Mm-hmm. So, just sue the shit out of that guy.
Get that guy.
Right. So that would be... Anyway. So
I never help anyone. That's my motto.
That's a good motto. More and more, I would agree with you because...
Well, I'm older than you, so...
No.
You'll get there one day, son.
See, again, it's something to look forward. It's okay to get older because I have something to look forward to. So these guys had shirts. They had matching shirts, like little polo shirts and whatnot, and they had the name of their whatever company they were working for.
Magazines Are Us.
Yes. Which, at the time, I was like, oh, that looks pretty official. But now looking back, I'm like, you could get that done anywhere. Fuck. Anyway. Or they probably beat up the real guys and stole them. It's two black guys. And
it was written in magic marker.
Yeah. It might as well have been. Anyway. And they sold me, he had a really good, to his credit, he had a story. He knew the story well. He was very well spoken. He knew his material. And he sold me these magazine subscriptions. I'm embarrassed to say it even now. I gave this gentleman, I got a receipt, but looking at the receipt, there's no, whatever company it was. Anyway, it was just like the little book receipts you get at Staples or Office Depot.
Walgreens.
Right. I gave this gentleman upwards of $175 cash.
Oh, my gosh.
So he did. He had a story about, he's like, hey, look, man. Would you agree it's important for black men in this town to set an example for the next generation? And I was like, I would agree to that. He goes, well, it's not going to get, the situation's not going to get better. Just not do anything. He goes, I come from a life of crime. He goes, my neighborhood was 61st and Peoria. And I'm like, that's a bad one. I was like, I'm from North Tulsa, so I understand. He got me. And
pushed your buttons.
He did. He got me good.
And how ironic that he ripped you off.
So I have not seen the copies of ESPN the magazine or the
Jugs.
Scouting News jugs. It's just, I don't know. But there were
Blacktail.
Jet. The 5 copies of Jet that I ordered. Anyway, I still, man, if those things come anytime soon, it'll restore my faith in humanity. But it's just at the time, I felt so good about myself. And as the hours went, for 2 hours solid after giving this guy money, I was like, I did a good thing. I'm a good person. And then the hour 3, I was like, that was really dumb. I just gave a stranger fucking $175 in cash. Woo-hoo. Anyway, so I don't ever expect to see these magazines again. Like I said, part of his line was you could donate a certain amount of these magazines, and so hopefully the Children's Museum or whatever fucking Boy Scouts of America got the magazines. At least that I donated to them. I don't
Scouts
know.
are going to enjoy that year subscription.
Blacktail, yeah. Jugs got me through a lot of. Jugs is very specific. There's not a lot of. Jugs is it's an elementary style of porn mags or fuck books, as I'd like to say. There's no sex in it. There's no penetration.
Poses.
It's just poses. Just chicks with big old jugs.
So I hear.
Right. Just drinking milkshakes and having a great time.
Nice.
It's
Tickle fights and
just whatever. But there's no penetration. There's no implied sex. It's just some just buttery, oiled up jugs a lot of the time. just a lot of tits.
Cool.
So that's actually good. That's a good magazine.
Truth
I'm glad you brought. Yeah, it's every bit. The cover says
name.
jugs. You're gonna get
That's
jugs.
what you're gonna get. Well, that reminds me of that story. I can't remember the guy's name. He had a super thick, like Nigerian accent. Came into the bar 100 years ago, and I don't remember the whole story. I was probably lit up, but
The problem back then.
something. He was on his way to the bus station, was looking for some help, needed some dollars. Gave him free beer while he was sitting there preaching to me. He was wearing a suit and like had a suitcase or something. You don't remember this yet? And
It sounds like 20 stories I heard down there. So
I think I wound up giving him like $30 or $50. I wasn't nearly as generous as you, but I did give him something.
yeah,
Partially to make myself feel good, partially to make him leave.
sure.
Just to get
Right.
on taking care of everybody else. But then all the other people that witnessed it knew I was
Getting
a sucker.
fleeced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I think even you and maybe even Adam went down to the bus station looking for him after that.
Oh yeah. There were a couple. Honestly, that place was an education for me about how the world works, how the other side works, and I was raised in a family where we, like when somebody asked you for help, they had no reason to lie. So I was really,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really naive about things. And when people asked for, a donation or told me that, their car was stranded
Yeah.
on the Texarkana line.
What's in it for them to lie about that?
There's
Why would you lie about that?
There's no reason a person just comes into a bar and, I don't know. That sounds perfectly legitimate. I'm going to give you
I would go into a bar asking for help if I was ever in that situation.
Exactly. You put yourself in the same situation. You're like, if I ever had a flat tire, the first place I go to is a bar. And it's easy, it's easy for everybody. If anybody's listening to this, it's easy to say that that's a really dumb move. But we have apps on our phones now, and there's a million numbers, and it's part of your insurance now. Or if you have a flat tire or something like that, you can get the help you need. Just press everything. There's help at the touch of a button. If you own Chevy products, you got the little OnStar. Immediately everything's taken care of. But this was, the year 2000. There wasn't. I think that was like the first year I had a cell phone.
Yeah, I didn't have a cell phone for very long at that
Right.
time.
So this is, it's very easy to say you guys are suckers and you're fucking assholes and you want to sell me a bridge,
Yeah.
Whatever, or you want to sell me some oceanfront property. But that was, I don't know, man. That was different. But yes, Adam and I did actually, we saw the guy that gave $30 and we
That fleeced
chased
me.
I don't know what we were going to do, but
it was something to do. It was probably like a Monday night too.
yeah, man.
He was wearing a suit or something or sport jacket, and he had like a really thick foreign, like African or Nigerian accent, like Eddie Murphy in Trading
Oh,
Places.
wow.
I think I was always cynical. Probably felt he was lying the whole time, and just like I said, but I could be telling myself that too to make myself not feel like such a sucker. But
No.
I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do anything different. I don't care one way or the other.
And honestly, that's really the difference between, like, the reason that we didn't want vagrants in there or bums or whatever, because we gotten burned. We learned our lesson. But and they were there every day, and you constantly had to make people leave. That's the difference between us and, unfortunately, the story of Sean Howard, where you didn't really have to. He inherited, the bar, and he inherited, the problems, but he wasn't there from day one, and I think I've touched on this before in a podcast earlier, where him and his staff later, they didn't want it. Initially, they didn't want to be like us. They didn't want to be, whenever you worked a shift at Deadtown, you were the manager, you were a bartender, you were security, you were everything, right? Yeah, and you just didn't have time to. I don't have time to be nice to you and give you a glass of water, dude. I got these people to serve. I had, our happy hours were pretty busy.
I got chicks here that are uncomfortable. You need to get your ass out of here.
Exactly.
That was the main thing. Get
And
the
you
girls
smell like
here, and the dudes will follow.
Right, and you smell like a corpse, and you got to be gone. When they took over the place, they realized kind of like the being nice wasn't, like we were gruff with those people for a reason, and then it wasn't their nature to be tough guys, and then so I guess they tried to be like they tried to do an impression of us, to keep that rep up. Like they bought the bar out and they were trying to keep that rep up, and it wasn't. And I don't know, man. I mean, I know street people they're not idiots. They're destitute and they have nothing to lose. But I really think that's part of what got them in trouble. They did not.
You can't play around. You can't go looking for trouble.
No, and that's what, as long as they were out of the bar, we never went hunting for anybody anyway. But yeah, it wasn't, we were onto these people from day one. I think we all got fleeced a little bit here and there.
Bartender, can I get another?
May I have one too? And can I have a Jameson as well, please? I don't know why I'm talking to the microphone specifically for that. You can just hear me. You're in the room, but whatever. Oh yeah. What's in the topic machine?
What do we have here?
I saw something about Martha Stewart threesome. What's that about?
She admitted to having a threesome. She also was telling, I forget what show she was on. She was talking about she knew how to roll a joint. Oh. I've always suspected that she was a pothead. Thank you, darling.
Threesomes are that's like rich people sex. That's college or rich people sex. You can do, there's no rules.
Yeah.
When you're like rich people, I don't know. I have a friend. Anything in this next story is all circumstantial. Let me just say that.
Change the names to be.
Yes, I'm going to change the names. It's hearsay. It's almost completely hearsay. Because, it's one of those. When it makes it to the tape of this podcast, it's going to be, this is a friend of a friend of a friend story. But I have a friend who lives in, I knew from my days living in Indiana, who he's an extra. I mean, he's constantly trying to be an actor, but he's an extra.
Yeah.
And he's been hit on by a lot of celebrities. Like the whole thing is, the most vindicating thing, I've been saying that John Travolta's gay for many, many years. Because this is one of the people that he was always saying, this dude hits on me every time, He never remembers my name, but every time, he starts drinking, he's like, oh, I remember you from when you worked that bar, And there was one instance where he tipped him out, at the end of the night, he was asked, he's like, hey, you're a handsome guy, I think I could really help your career. And he tipped him, when he tabbed, he got a little drunk, tipped him, and then he tipped him with his hotel key as well, So I was like, I've been saying that for years, that John Travolta's gay, and now it's, of course, coming out. Is he not in the midst? Is he in the midst of a divorce? Am I just
I didn't
talking
hear
out
that.
my ass?
I don't know.
Maybe that's on the Enquirer. I could. Somebody look this up. Anyway, but he also has he's been hit on by John Travolta, Vin Diesel.
Really?
Vin Diesel, he says, is one of the biggest closeted people in the business. But he says these people are not necessarily gay. It's just that they just have so much money.
They're just looking for new stimulation. Yeah.
There's no whatever. Sounds good. But he said the weirdest thing he ever walked on. He walked into a party, and I won't mention the name of the person's house it was, but he saw Jamie Foxx and The Rock having sex. So he said that's I don't know, like Martha Stewart and her threesome thing. I mean, that's not, maybe it's shocking for, the middle American housewife trying to learn how to make a better
brownie.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, she's rich. That's rich people stuff.
It's kind of disgusting. She's 71. I mean, I guess that's the only. Okay, in my mind it's recent. So I'm like, see, I'm kind of slow. I didn't put that together. That it was that's it, or it could have been in jail.
Good for her.
Are you a sexter?
I am, and I'm. Later maybe you can edit in. I'll show you some transcripts of the kind of horse shit that I don't know. Maybe we can blur out the names, but
Schmitz Mielefeld.
Oh yeah. Well, no, you already know mine. I don't care if everybody knows I'm a scumbag. The party's involved. But yeah, that's part of my thing.
That's your game.
Yeah,
that's your turquoise and silver laden.
Yeah, my Wayland Gin. The pictures. I'm more of a dirty talker. I'm not in this generation, but I do have a lot of pictures of my dick, and that's just
Well,
me.
who doesn't?
Yeah, that's just my own.
Of your dick.
Yeah, my dick.
Yeah.
I'm just vain as hell. That's not, has
Big
nothing to do.
vein.
Yeah. I have a very shiny helmet. And, but I did, like, there was a point probably about 4 years ago. This is a really dumb story. I was sick at home. I had taken off a certain amount of days from work. I had food poisoning.
Ugh.
And I was in the recovery stage where I started to feel better, and I was just bored as hell. You know, you get food poisoning, I don't know, like 3-4 days. You just don't.
Just down.
Right.
Like,
and you start to feel better. Anytime you try and get up and do any work, you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, I'm so bored. I can't. So I just started taking pictures of my dick, like in different.
like you do.
Like I do, in costumes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I had one, I don't know, man, being a single dude is stupid. I had like one, because I had like all these guns just laying around. But I made like, I'll see if I can, I think it's on a different phone. But I made like little hats. I made like a little fedora and a tie. And then I just had a gun. Like he was a private eye. That's in my.
Private dick.
Yeah, he was a private. So, I don't
Nice.
know. Now, here's the thing. I didn't send this to a girl. I was just really bored, so I just like
Entertaining
mass
yourself.
texted it. Yeah, to everybody. And people were like, "What are you doing? Why are you sending?" Or like people are, "What am I looking at?" That's obviously my dick wearing a fedora made out of
God,
paper.
are you stupid.
Yeah, holding a gun.
Jeez.
And nobody thought it was as funny as
What am
I
I
did.
looking
Going like just like the Pavan Palapu incident. Nobody thought it was as funny as I did. I know it's funny because when I'm doing it, I'm sitting there cutting out, the paper for the. I'm just laughing. I'm crying my eyes out. This is gonna be so funny.
Making hats for my dick.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it's holding a gun. It's like it's like my hand. Like my dick was that size, but it had a hand like a regular sized person's hand. That's funny in itself. That's hilarious. Anyway, and then just I don't know. Maybe I don't get the concept of sexting. I just think like nudity and pictures of my dick are funny. Like especially when somebody asks you like a perfectly legitimate question like, did you go to the store? Did you get cucumbers? Do I have to go to this? And then boom,
Your
just send a
response is
picture
a
of your
dick.
dick. Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's funny. I don't know. And also, I'm very vain. Obviously, I'm vain as hell. And I don't know.
So are you equally interested in receiving those, or is it just more entertaining to send them?
Here's the bad thing, and I'm going to be telling on myself. I love when chicks send me pictures of shit, right?
Shit.
Of shit. Literally, I'm like, why don't you shit on a paper plate and send it to me? I love it. Turns me on.
Some dookie pics.
I know. I immediately get my dick out. And I just start, oh, man, that is a gorgeous picture of shit. It's well lit. It's tasteful, especially for shit. It's tasteful.
When they blur the background, that's really nice.
There's good stuff and there's bad stuff. Obviously, like whenever I don't know if you've ever done it with your husband here or whatever, or you, Mindy, have done it with yours. I said your name on, I don't care. But maybe you're doing it in an inconvenient place. You got to be really fast. Boom, you try and fire one off. Trying to get a good picture of your stuff. It does take a lot of time, but when you do it quick, it comes out blurry, and I can't tell what the fuck it is.
It's like when people find out they're pregnant and they get that picture of their fetus. That's what it turns out looking like.
That's the same thing. When I see like a really blurry sext, I'm like, how am I supposed to get off to this? I can't. This is
Split finger fastball. I can't.
Right. This looks like. Oh my. This looks like roadkill. I don't understand what this is.
Is this an ad for Arby's? What is this?
But I don't. I do like the pictures. Now here's the bad thing. And this is a heads up for all women. I know I'm not the only person who does this. I'm not the only man. When you send me these pictures, 99% of the time, I am going to show somebody else. That is the truth.
These do not come just to me.
Yep. As many times as I tell you that, I promise you that I will not show these to anybody else.
I'm fucking lying.
I'm lying to your fucking face. I cannot wait. I'm over it. When I see the little the little fucking badge come up that says 1 text message or 2 text messages. I'm so thrilled. I'm like, and I'm already building a list in my head of the people who need to see. I'm going to re-text this. I'm going to forward this text to the next. I'm like, oh my god,
You're smiling for the world, baby.
right? I'm like, oh my god, you want to see what so and so's tits look like? Boom! That's immediately. So yeah,
You've been warned, ladies.
yep. Don't send me shit unless you know. And here's another thing. I told you earlier that originally I bought this backdrop here, this lovely blue backdrop that we're behind every week.
For dirty pictures.
Right, for dirty time. Like I had a little dirty studio set up. I had a little switcheroo trick where I would show girls like, you need to erase that right now, right? So what I would do is I would just immediately just email it to myself, and then in your face I will delete the picture.
delete,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be in my email forever, and I'll just bring it right back. I have so many awful ones. It's terrible. I'll show you, just because it's funny to get a reaction, just on camera. Certainly these won't. But just so you know, I'm not lying.
No, I trust you.
This is something horrible that I do. I'm a terrible person. I had a lot of growing up to, like, stuff like that. Just horrible. It's just a lot of
Nice.
and immediately I'm like, I think actually Carrie went to school with her. She went to grade school with her. That's completely different. That's just a funny picture.
That's another pussy.
Indifferent, but that's an actual cat that won an award. This is horrible. This is taking a terrible turn.
That's a good 20 minutes gone.
I know. This is horrible. Give me another topic if you don't mind.
Here we go.
I like the clocks that we never use.
That we never use are just there to look at.
Whatever.
Eyeball licking. You hear any of that?
Is this supposed to be sexual?
Japanese kids are licking each other's eyeballs. There was some Jap rapper or music artist that
Jap rap. Yeah, it's
that had a video of
K-pop,
somebody.
Jap rap. Yeah, it's all.
In the video, somebody was kids were licking each other's eyeballs or something.
Did you want one of these?
No.
Okay.
I'm full. Thank you.
I feel like a lush, but that's okay.
So kids are getting kicked out of school because they're showing up with eye patches and pink eye from licking each other's eyeballs. Wow. Saw you crack that.
Cow. That's just, I don't want to short anybody. I mean, I really do. I do try and get drunk during this podcast. Eyeball licking.
Kind of freaky. I don't know that I would be all that interested in it. I can't.
I don't. Now, what I do, and a lot of people consider it unsanitary. There's a million people who tell you that you're gonna get hepatitis from it, whatnot. I like to lick a girl's asshole,
Yeah.
and this is actually gonna go back to dead. I'm gonna tie this into Dead Town, so don't worry.
Okay.
It's always gonna lead back to that.
A lot of butthole licking.
I do. It's a taboo thing, and
That's always the interest. Just what you're not supposed to do.
The more you are fervent about something that you're not supposed to do,
I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I hear girls talk about they're not interested in that and they don't want somebody messing around with that part of their body.
Bullshit.
I'll tell you what, I've never had somebody say no. Or I've never had a girl say, stop doing that to me. Stop licking my asshole. Get your tongue out. This is ridiculous. This is not what I came for. I didn't sign up for this. I've never had somebody protest. But here we go. It was like kind of my signature thing to do, and I love talking about it.
That was
Obviously,
your move?
that was my move.
Yeah.
That was my
Your swirl.
right. That was my edgy move. Right, like girls are like, "Oh man, he did some weird shit, whatever." And that was it's. I guess talking about it now, it's really not that weird. It's actually kind of vanilla, and that's more a commentary on our society now.
That's
Obviously,
horrible.
I'm being outdone by 16-year-old Japanese kids who are licking eyeballs. I would have never thought about that. Anyway, so I'm at Dead Town. I'm bartending one time, and I'm just talking about how I took home somebody at the bar and whatever. Do you remember Kurt Thill?
Yeah.
Kurt Thill was one of my favorite people ever.
Friends with him on Facebook. I don't see much
Are you?
from him. Yeah.
Oh, is he still married?
I don't know.
God, I always loved that guy. He wasn't as vocal as some of the other people in the same group, like Bill or McCool.
I've been meaning to ask, do you ever see him?
Yeah, man, I run into him I probably see him maybe once every month, maybe once every other month. Yeah, he lives in Brady Heights now.
Okay.
Yeah, him and his wife they're not together anymore, but they do have custody, and I see him every now and again. The funny thing is, he's usually drinking a beer in a bar, and he's got a laptop, and he's doing off-track betting. just McCool. Yeah, just doing McCool shit. Anyway, so
back to butthole licking.
Back to butthole licking, where I was. Analingus. That's what I like to call it. Anyway,
that's a beautiful name.
It was. It's a classier name than yeah. Anyway, so I'm bragging about how I'm doing this shit, and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. And this girl was crazy for it, blah blah blah. That's how a 26, 27-year-old talks.
Yeah.
And Kurt Thill, everybody had an opinion on it. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I wouldn't do that. And everybody was telling me, oh, man, you're going to get hepatitis doing that. And I always say, the person has to have hepatitis before you can get hepatitis.
Yeah, you don't just create it.
Right, you can't just. And I do understand there's fecal matter involved. Yeah. Whatever, it's you just get over it.
Big deal.
I'm gonna lick your asshole. Whatever. I know what I'm getting into. Kurt Thill, with an air of seriousness about him. I mean, he wasn't trying to rain on the parade or anything, but he was serious about it. He drinks his beer. And he goes, Rich, man, you're playing a dangerous game. I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like, what are you talking about? That's just licking assholes, man. That's what I do. I'm crazy. I'm a young guy on the scene. He was like, no, man, that's footloose and fancy free. You shouldn't do that, man. And I was like, why? And he goes, it's really a matter about personal responsibility. And I'm like, you don't say. He was like, yeah, man. He said, what you're creating a situation where if you find the one that you finally want to be with or whatever, you're going to have girls calling you the rest of your life, man. He said, man, I'm happy. I love my wife and everything. He goes, I got girls calling me from 10 years ago. Because I was reckless, just like you were with it, man. He goes, once you lick a girl's asshole, they ain't never going to leave you alone, man.
He was warning you.
It was a warning.
It was like an older Rich talking to a younger Rich.
It was, and we had the same hair and everything. It's just he really was. He was
sincere and concerned.
He was very honest. I mean, it was funny, and everybody laughed. He's like, "Yeah, man," but he
never cracked a smile.
The message was everybody else laughed.
It stayed with you.
But I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Wow, you're 27. You don't look that far ahead. You don't think about who you're going to marry and future happiness, whatever." Now it's one of those things I cannot to this day. And this is gross. I can't lick a girl's asshole without thinking about Kurt Thill. And so I'm sitting there I'm like, just get it anyway. I don't care.
I hear Kurt's voice talking about, yeah, we could whore this place up real good.
What do you want to do? Like a lingerie?
Some kind of lingerie party in the bar. We could get people in here.
He had some, there were some good ideas. There were a lot of good ideas back then. So eyeball licking. I don't
think you can top butthole licking.
No, nothing's ever going to beat butthole licking, man. Eyeball licking that's horse shit.
That's dumb.
That's like when there's kids who, obviously, high school drugs, like the high school drug problems, even like at our alma mater, are just out of control. Kids are just doing the craziest drugs, whatever, and inhaling things, inhalants. And then there were the kids that read things in books or heard about rock stars doing shit. They're licking toads.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's bullshit. Eyeball. That's horseshit.
You're trying too hard.
Yeah. Don't impress me. Licking buttholes is number one, dude. There ain't nothing going to be dirtier than that. That's real. And girls love it. And don't say you don't. You do. Anyway. It's good. Absolutely not, and it's the same reason that I don't believe in the prisons in Guantanamo Bay. I cannot torture somebody like that. I can't pretend that it's going to be. There's no way that you're going to get the same amount of pleasure I get from putting my mouth and tongue in your asshole. Mine is horrible. It's like a woman.
You'll be up in your head worrying about it, and
right.
Yeah,
like the comment, something like in my head. Okay, this is stupid. In my head, I'm thinking, because girls talk as dirty, sometimes dirtier than men.
Yeah.
I don't want them describing somebody else. I'm like, oh yeah, so we were getting fucked up, we were drunk, whatever, and I fucking licked his asshole, whatever.
My move is licking dudes' buttholes, and I went down on my man.
If that's your thing, I'll let you do it. But mine, man,
You're taking your life in your own hands.
there's nothing poetic or beautiful about my asshole. It is utility only. It is for excreting waste. That's it. And I have a very hairy asshole. I'm not gonna lie. I'm as vain as I like to say I am. I don't have any desire to clean that area up. It's what's gonna be. There's hair down there. It's extremely brown from I don't know years of use.
I don't. It's like your butthole went to Maui and got tanned.
Right.
It's darker than the rest of your ass.
Yeah, and I noticed like in your bathroom too. I have the exact same wet wipes dispenser. Mm-hmm. I am a freak about my asshole and that whole area being clean, right? It's so useful because if like I bring somebody home, I don't have to take a shower necessarily. I just get a couple, wet wipes out
of the
clean the whole area up. I'm done in like 5 minutes. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fucking
bathe.
Pound town, baby. I'm ready to fucking take it down. And so just clean just the whole area, and I always pay special attention to my asshole. I don't know if you guys are the same way. I'm very sensitive to the smells coming off my body when I'm about to have sex. Because like the person you're having sex with,
the wind all of a
right
sudden kicks up, and you can almost visualize the
right. They're exposed, and then you're exposed, and then I'm like kind of trying to pick out. I'm like, oh, that's me.
Keeping score in your head is
right.
Who? Damn.
I'm like, there's a shit smell in here, and it's
you look at there's a dog.
The chances are it's me. Like, where did that shit smell? Oh, that's me.
Oh, check your shoes.
Right.
No,
and I don't know. Okay. We're going to learn a lot about me today. That's fine. I'm going to be 40 soon, so I really don't care.
I care less and less, too.
I do. I just don't give a shit. Whatever, man. I do care about having a clean asshole when I'm going to have sex with somebody. I get super sensitive about, obviously, how things smell. Mm-hmm. I think this is my opinion only. There's no scientific fact here whatsoever. But like smell can ruin an entire experience, mm-hmm. like sex in general. So I'm very quick to fucking clean things up. I had a point here.
Turn out the light, light a candle.
Girl, go to the bathroom and wipe your ass.
Cover that shit up.
In the entire history of me having sex, I think about the early days when I was not as fervent about wet wipes, mm-hmm. and it must have like just straight up stank. I know, like I had a lot of drunk sex, but it's like you can't ignore. Like I can smell it, and you can't ignore. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think, like all the girls I ever had sex with, were you just being nice? Were you just that nice that you didn't want to tell me, or were you just that? I don't know.
Were you that drunk too?
Were you that drunk? Were you as drunk as me? I don't think so. Or was it? I don't know. And then my vanity says, were you just that excited about having sex with Rich mm-hmm. that you were just like, I'm just gonna ignore it.
I'm going in.
How awful. Yeah. I don't know, because there was a time I was not concerned about how my asshole smelled, but like I said, you get down there and.
You just bend your knees, or you climb into the bed.
Your knees go in 90 degrees both ways. You're like, you can smell your own asshole, dude. You know what you're out. Like that's me. That's my asshole, and it's ruining this experience. The smell of my own asshole. Basically, this is the point. The smell of my own asshole will ruin a sexual experience for me. So I can't imagine what that other person. It's bad enough I'm going to sweat all over you. It's bad enough, and so I don't know. At least I'm gonna have clean asshole. My beer breath in your face, my whiskey breath, all over your gorgeous body. You have a gorgeous body. Women's bodies are wonderful, and here I am just fucking lousing it up, stinking it up,
It's dripping on you
with my sweat, my whiskey breath, and my unclean asshole.
butt old
Right,
odor.
and I'm just getting that all over you. So the least I can do, I can't do anything about the breath. I don't have time to fucking swish it around with the mouthwash. I don't give a shit.
You're gonna have asshole breath here in a minute when you flip her over.
I know. I'm gonna even the odds. So if something smells like shit, it was you because I ate your asshole.
It was you.
This is terrible. Get to something else. This is the worst podcast ever. God.
You
Jesus.
say that every week.
Yep. Why is there like a little brackets of rich on everything?
There's just two.
Oh, okay.
Sexting. You touched on that.
I did.
Breakups. You got any thoughts on that? I don't know where that came from.
And where did that come from?
Did we get suggestions from Facebook?
I was doing random searches on different things and just different topics.
I think sexting and dating led into breakups.
Just different things were coming up, and I was doing like weird news and different
Okay.
things, and so things were random things.
Do you have a way that you dump chicks?
Okay.
This is aimed at you because I'm married.
I know.
I don't have any stories.
I'll basically tell you how I do things, and then maybe it would be helpful if you and Mindy, if you had questions about a breakup, like something you don't have to mention specifically what it was, but maybe there was a question from a particular breakup, like, what do guys do in this? How do you go about doing this? I might be able to answer that. You know what I mean? But for me, and I'm going to start astrologically. I'm a Scorpio, so I can put all emotion aside and just get the job done.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, I've been in war, so I can separate, any emotion from what I have to do. Now, later, I will feel bad about it, and I'll just drink a lot, whatever, and, I've done that. But breakups, yeah.
Logic first.
Right. And and this is an interesting question because the way I handle things in my 20s is different from my 30s.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's. I really do think this is a rare, truthful moment for Rich. I really do think like compassion is something that you learn as you get older. When you're in your 20s, you have no idea what compassion is because pretty much
Selfish
right. The universe
is me.
revolves around you.
I'm climbing this ladder. I'm getting to where I'm going to go.
Exactly. You can't imagine that there's anything outside of you. What do you mean?
Nothing's going to hurt me either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything's about you. And as I've gotten older, I really do understand how my actions, my words, stuff like that affects other people. Just from and using Deadtown as an example, people coming up to me later and they're like, "You said something so awful to me one time.
Oh God.
You told me that my shirt was really stupid, whatever, And I'm like, I'm sorry. One, I don't remember who you are.
Yeah.
And two,
Do you remember me? You don't know who I am, do you?
you know who I am, do you? Yeah. And I'm like, stop hitting me, lady. Anyway, it's really weird now as I'm approaching 40 to have that thing where anything you did or anything you said, you had any effect on anybody's life. It's so weird to me, because back then I was just a fucking drunk, man. That's all I was. And if I ever said, like, people were like, "Hey, man, tell that joke you told one time." I'm like, dude, I don't remember. I was really drunk. I don't think you understand how drunk I was.
Happened.
And I know if I did something funny, it was just it was circumstance, whatever. But saying things, I really do. There's a lot of things I want to say to people, but I'm more apt now to edit myself than I ever have been in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I can remember having that attitude about not editing my words or whatever. I can remember as 5 years ago, I didn't care. But now I really am at that point. Like, when I want to say something, like somebody says something I think is really stupid, I'm like, I want to immediately say, "You're a fucking idiot," whatever. And I don't. I'm like, it's not going to help things now. Just let them say something stupid. Or the worst thing is, like, seeing a group of kids in their 20s who remind me of, like, us. And I just want to tell them, you guys are fucking idiots. And I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, no, they have to learn.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I felt that way a couple weeks ago. We went and watched the UFC fights. We went and watched Silva get knocked out. And there was a table full of 21-year-olds. Like, probably
you were texting me about that.
Yeah, probably turned 21. Yeah, 15 minutes before they got there. And we're just, I don't know, obnoxious. Obnoxious is too kind a word. They were just dumb, just on my grating my nerves like a gnat, just right here. I couldn't enjoy myself. Couldn't enjoy hanging out with my wife, having beers, getting liquored up, just because.
Was it because they were so much like you?
It could have been. They could have. I don't.
Is that what it was?
Well, it's so bad that we're not there anymore. Because I kept thinking, if I went over there, and just went with these fools and said, "Hey, let's do a shot," then they would be talking about that old lady who did a shot with them. Which you don't see yourself young. You don't see yourself old. But if I went to their table, they'd be going home talking about, old lady had a shot with us. That was the thing that was like,
just crushed you. I didn't care. I was thinking about how old and fat I am. Back in the day, we probably would have fought them.
I know, we would have fucking just fuck this dude.
Dump the table over just because we were bored.
And just take it to that point where they're like, I don't, man, these
guys are crazy. What here, take our beer. Take our drinks.
Let's buy you something. That's another weird thing. From our reunion, a weird thing is, we made jokes about how certain people look, whatever. Leading up to the reunion, I was talking about how, I don't feel like I look that old, and there's something I learned from that, man. It's after having that experience. I'm glad I went, first of all, just so I could describe this experience. I don't know if anybody else feels this way. It's a super weird thing, man. And the only thing I can liken it to is the same way parents are when their children grow up, how they say, I don't see, my mom still looks at me. I'm 38 and my mom still sees a child.
The baby.
Right. That's what she says. It's the same fucking thing, man. When I see these people at the reunion, when I think about whoever, a Nikki Unzer or a fucking Chris Dwyer or Earl Dunham, it's weird to see them there because now, even in my mind, thinking about these people as when I mention their names, Heather King, stuff like that, I still see them as little kids,
as high schoolers.
Right? Yeah. It's weird, and it's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It really is. I don't see you like that. Even as soon as I talk to you, whatever, and I talk to somebody else, I don't think about how different you look. Because I just see you as a little, see you as little kids. Head, That's it, and it's that quick. It's so quick. It's immediately I'm like, oh, you look great, whatever, oh, you're an adult, whatever. And then I'll talk to somebody else. I'm like, oh, Heather King. I don't really, unless there was a total mess, and I didn't see anybody who was a total mess. It's
probably because it was us.
And we were are you trying to say we were the total messes? Fuck you, I'm out of here. Probably. I don't know.
I remember being a little kid and looking in yearbooks, looking at my older siblings' yearbooks.
Yeah.
And even now, if I go back and look at them, the high schoolers when I was younger looked so much older.
Oh yeah.
They looked like the gangbangers and the Warriors. They all looked old. Even now, if you go back and look at some of those old yearbooks, the people who were older than you always looked older. And adults, when I was younger, adults seemed to matter more and seemed to. I used to look at adults differently. I don't feel like I'm an adult now, and all the adults that I deal with are just fucking stupid.
Isn't that weird?
Adults, I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm at a teeter-totter moment about telling Lily whether or not to trust adults or whether or not to just what kind of opinion to shape for her about grown-ups, because grown-ups are fucking stupid. They are unreliable. They cannot do anything. They're fucking helpless. They're just a bunch of old children. At least the people that I deal with.
You don't want to break that mystique that she has, that adults know everything.
Because then what's the motivation for her to want to grow up?
Yeah, I'm getting a little static on here. Is this?
I think I might be getting loud.
I didn't know if it's anything I'm doing. I don't know. But the same way, I have talked, like my dad and I talk now about stuff. And when he was my age, you know, he married a woman from Fiji. He married my mom, and he'd already brought her back to the U.S. or whatnot. And you know, he had an entire family within a span of 3 years. With my mom already had kids. He had an entire family, right? And it's really weird that I don't have any responsibilities other than this podcast and mowing my lawn. That's it. And paying my phone bill. You know, it's really weird. And you know, for years I thought I think everybody's the same way where. You think your parents know everything. I really I feel bad for him in a way. I'm like, you were my age. You didn't know anything, did you? This was
poor fucker.
You had all this. That's so weird. I feel so bad for you. You know, like my sister, my oldest sister Roma told me the other day about they went to it was like one of the first times they went to a restaurant here in Tulsa, and this would have been in the late 60s, and somebody made a comment about the difference in my family. My dad's white and everybody else is black or brown in my family, and my dad's just he's just a do the right thing guy. He doesn't necessarily want violence, but when somebody insults your family like that, you don't have a lot. You have to. Right. So he invited the gentleman to step outside. And I can just imagine him being like my age, and like, God damn it, I don't really feel like fighting somebody right now.
A table full of kids, but
okay, sir, would you mind? I heard your comments. Would you mind stepping outside real quick? What a horrible. It's really indicative of people. Adults don't know. There's no age where you know everything.
Yeah, there's nothing ever clicks. There's nobody hands you the card or
you just try to gather up what you learn from experiences and what older people have taught you. And I'm just this is my formula that I'm gonna go. It's so weird. It really is. Even in my 20s, I thought, by 35, I should know everything.
I'll have this figured out. Yeah,
I'm gonna know how to fix cars, and I'm gonna know how to fly a plane, and whatever. I don't know. I'm going to know what side of the street to ride a bicycle on, and how to raise kids and everything. I really thought you'd found that knowledge somewhere. And now you've got a box.
We're coming from third plate to 40.
Yeah.
About to slide into the dirt.
I don't know anything.
I don't know jack shit.
Nope. I know a couple things. I know what looking cool looks like.
I know.
What?
I know more than 21-year-olds know.
Yeah. Oh God! Don't even get me started about like a 21-year-old. I mean, I was watching Louis C.K. the other day, and did I just open up another beer? Look at that! Was that supposed to be yours?
No, I got mine here.
Now, I'll show you somebody who's 30. How a 38-year-old handles this. It's not a bottle
So is this what 40 was supposed to look like when we were 20?
I don't know that I had a. That's my new one. Thank you, darling. I didn't have a picture. I'm only right now starting to worry about planning.
Yeah. Wow. That we took off into another direction. Let's get back on track.
We might have
loved
touched
every minute of it.
We did. That's kind of lame. I think that's old news.
I don't give a shit. How do I make this? How do we make it relevant?
That is a big topic.
That's a huge topic. Other than. I don't know, man. The only thing I can relate to that is that I'm very particular about the kind of woman I'll date. I will mess around with girls that are less than the standard I portray in public. A pretty white girl tells me anything, much like we were talking about the person about selling me magazine subscriptions. That was only a $175 loss, right? If a pretty white girl had come to the door and sold me the same shit,
sold you broken car parts,
5 times the amount of, but fuck, I would have taken out a loan for this person. That's horrible. I know, but I don't know. But huh? Yeah, I would have licked her asshole too. That's me. All right, that's what you get with the rich. You get a fat Polynesian guy who's mildly entertaining and who will lick
Slurping
your
your behind.
He'll lick your asshole. Yeah, that's what you get out of me. I don't know. I don't have any real skills in anything. I don't, except for
Butt licking.
butt licking, sometimes making drinks, and killing people.
Drowning bombs.
Yeah, that's about it. And so I don't have a lot of marketable skills. I don't have a lot of resume quality shit. Maybe I do. I just don't know how to express it. But I think when I was younger, there were a couple things I wanted to. One, I wanted to be on stage from the time I was a little kid. There's the picture, and maybe we can throw it in here.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it. I did a. My parents believed I was going to be on stage too, but we used to have a talent show. I went to a tiny private school called Immaculate Conception School. It was so small that I'm not even sure there were benefits to, what you perceive the benefits of private and public schools are. I mean, it was obviously more for kids who weren't from this country. I don't know. There were a lot of immigrants there. Anyway, but we had a talent show, right? And like any school talent show, there are people who dance, a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
A lot of lip syncing of popular songs. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do what all my friends were doing. Some people did karate demonstrations.
Cool.
Kind of athletic shit. What's going on? Okay. I thought you were saying something about time, but you were mocking me. Thank you, Mindy. My mom every year made me recite a poem. She picked out a poem every year, and I would recite it. Okay. So that was like K through fucking second grade.
Yeah.
I had this thing. So third grade rolls around, and I decided I wasn't going to do that. Mm-hmm. I had a comedy routine worked up. It was mostly impressions.
Yeah.
Like all my brothers and sisters who had gone to the same school, they watched it, and they were like, this is not something I really practiced with them, whatever. It's not something that anybody in my family had seen. It was just just something I just did. So when they saw me, they were like, what? They could not believe that I was a little kid just doing this shit, whatever.
Do you remember your routine that you did?
There was, here's what's dumb. There was a Carol Channing impression. Is that old?
Yeah.
Carol Channing.
We were in grade school in the 70s. Weren't we? Watched a lot of Love Boat.
Fucking yeah, fuck yeah, like Love Boat and Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Shit yeah, dude. So yeah, like one was a Carol Channing impression. One was Richard Nixon. This is horrible. This is how
that
horrible.
comes from having older siblings.
Yeah, I think so too.
It wasn't anything that made sense to us, but.
And I had like one other one, and I told a joke, whatever. Oh, talking about your daughter and her, like your mom saying, think about being artistic, whatever. Awesome. Anything else that in my life, and I didn't turn out to have, be on stage or whatever, but I never got into anything that was mathematical or remotely
the standard career path or
just I didn't there was a point I didn't ever think that I was going to be, as I got older, I didn't think I was going to be on stage, but whatever. I just really didn't care. It just wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. I don't know. I've always wanted to do a thing where I sing or act like a fucking
entertain.
Idiot. Yeah. I don't know.
Myself and
on any level.
Everybody else will enjoy it.
Yeah. Like this horse shit now.
I've kind of always thought that bartending was local celebrity.
Oh yeah, sure. There you go.
We get noticed. We people know you. People want to be around you.
Right.
People look for you at certain days of the week. People think about coming in.
I hate it now though. I mean, I'm very much the opposite. I just don't want anybody to. I know it's the complete opposite of.
It gets old. It's for a certain age.
Yeah, I just don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I still want that money.
Yeah,
give me all your money, but I don't care If I hate being recognized in restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that I'm Brad Pitt or anything, but when people say, "Oh, why do celebrities complain about being recognized?" I get it, man. All I want to do is go to. I just want to eat some eggs, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to be able to eat a plate of eggs.
I'm off the clock.
Right,
dude.
without somebody patting me on the back saying, like they're our old favorite. You don't recognize me, do you?
You don't know who I am, do you?
First of all, that hurt a lot. I'm not.
Just walk up and hit me, motherfucker.
2,
You're lucky I'm old.
these are eggs. Delicious eggs.
Oh, I'll slap you. Speaking of getting recognized in celebrity, back to 4th of July where we started, we conjured him up talking about at Deadtown the night before Jeannie Triplehorn and Leland Orser got married. They came into the bar and got liquored up with us. Well, we had been talking about that. Carrie and I ran the firecracker, and Mindy ran the firecracker 5K on the 4th of July with Leland Orser and Jeannie Triplehorn. And I was just me, shy, no self-esteem, just kind of.
Look how happy she must have seen it.
When
That's
she saw
genuine.
me,
I don't think this. Does anyone see Jeannie Triplehorn?
when she saw me, she went, "Hey!" I had her, or she was asking me, she was like, "I want to go say hi to him," and I was like, I wanted it. I wanted it bad. I said, "Man, they're right there. We got to, something's got to happen," because we were just talking about him, honestly. And then, so I dumped it on her.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, go ahead, go say something, and I'll just kind of hang back here. I was, talking to Lily, and it was 9 a.m. I was drinking a beer, and she went up to Leland and said, "Hi, you guys, my husband used to own Deadtown or something." When she said that, he turned around and hollered at her, and they came over and just.
He was like mid-conversation, and he's like, Gene, come here. I mean, was so excited.
It was real. It was.
And she came over and gave him the biggest hug. He's like, we spent the night for a wedding in your bar, and oh yeah. And she's like, can we do pictures? And we're like, oh.
Yeah, a picture was her idea. It was just the biggest that to my ego that you could ever want.
I don't know if that couple knows how to be fake.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's real.
Yeah.
And their little boy came in 3rd in his age group in that race.
Oh, wow.
Too.
Do they live here in town?
Their little boy, Carrie stalked him on the race results, and his hometown was listed as California or LA or something. So they must just split time.
Oh God. Who's gonna drive me home? Who's gonna drive you home tonight?
But that was just so cool, and they could have been bullshitting, But who cares?
I don't think so.
That's just so. That's the way people should be. I think.
Yeah.
Just whether they were honest or not, that's just awesome. And I like to think they were being honest. They're just such cool people.
Yeah.
So cool. I remember.
It makes me feel bad because they have real fame, and I have just shitty local fame, and I'm shitty to people. I'm really shitty to people.
They could have blown me off, and I would have just totally taken it. Man, I had that coming.
Right.
Just badass. But
now I feel bad.
They just got interrupted with their family there in the morning, and took pictures and hugged me. Just beautiful. Love those guys.
I told you Ralph and Stephanie that their friends stop me everywhere, and
good people there.
they're good people, man. I don't know, but now I feel bad because I have a shitty amount of fame, and they have honest fame that they've worked hard for, and I've just been a drunk my entire life, and people, I've been a drunk in bars, and people recognize me from that, and I dismiss people. So now I feel bad about the whole. What's the chick's name? Huh? No. Shut up.
Girl with the big bush.
No. Kim. I should be nicer to her. I don't know.
We learn as we grow. I think that about wraps it up for us tonight.
This wraps it up.
Wraps us up. We exhausted all our topics.
Yep.
We're slurring our words, and since he doesn't pee,
I never do.
I'm about to piss myself right now. So we got to go. We'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have a guest next week. Either one of 2 people. I'll save it. It'll be a surprise. You'll have to come back. This is Mark.
And Rich,
See you next time.
I'll lick your asshole next time.
Want to be part of the show? Have a topic you want discussed? Leave us a voicemail with comments or suggestions at 918-373-9120. Join the conversation at www.drinkswithmarkandrich.com, and remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes.